how can the government promise that they will reduce these or some of these rail fares by half price?
So, unfortunately, on this occasion, this is somewhat gimmicky. So they are working with a number of the rail providers to reduce fares over a 2-month period. They're off-peak fares, and this reduction will end just before the school holidays. So while I think it's great to see people recognising that rail costs are way too expensive, and actually I think a really useful step from this government would be to tackle the cost of public transport in the UK. This is not the one. I don't know if you've seen the video of Grant Shapps with sunglasses on, sort of parading around. But this, I think, yes, great. Let's recognise that train fares are way too expensive. This is a gimmick. So I think it's going to affect
better
something
than nothing. Come on, Amy.
It is better. I know, I'm super miserable. I recognise that. Even if I'm bored myself, it's good, but it's not enough. But I think on this occasion it is true, right? Like, the fact that this is off-peak fares means it's not a serious dent on people's cost of living. So I think, one, yes, train fares are way too expensive. Let's do something about this. But this is not the way to tackle it. This neither truly tackles the cost of rail, which would be much better dealt with by renationalising the railways. And two, I think let's not pretend this is a cost of living measure.
Yeah, it's a luxury type thing.
Exactly.
Say, I fancy a day out in Penzance or whatever. It only cost me 22 quid. Let's go.
Exactly.
On a Wednesday when I should be working, unless I'm working from home. I'm not really working.
Don't start that. Yeah. But this is, I agree, this is gimmicky because this is essentially a subsidy for the middle classes who, by and large, use rail far more than any other, a group of people.
Come on.
It's not a real easing of the cost of living. If they wanted to, they would reduce bus fares, probably tube fares as well, and other ways. Cut that fuel duty again. But no, I think this is not going to help people, especially it's not the commuter train.
Middle class people aren't people.
And
they don't count.
No, they do.
They shouldn't be benefiting from anything.
Subsidising these random trips.
I think the fact that I haven't seen the video, but if Shapps is wearing sunglasses there, he's promoting this as a holiday getaway thing. He's not promoting this as I've got to get to the city centre because that's where I work.
Yeah. And I think, I'm very supportive of some more domestic tourism. The UK is beautiful, and I think one of the things we kind of realised over the last couple of years is what great holidaying opportunities we do have here. One of the things that limits people's ability to holiday in the UK is the cost. So the fact this isn't running into school holiday times means that it's barely going to touch the sides for the vast majority of families. And as Emily said, this is not a well-targeted measure to address the cost of living. That would be something like boosting benefits. So yes, rail fares are way too expensive. Let's do something about them. This is a bit meh for me.
What I would say is demand for commuter trains has gone down dramatically. It hasn't got back to where it was before the pandemic. People are spending 2.5 days in the office as compared to 4.7
but they're not reducing commuter
So we don't
fares.
have the money going into the system as we were before. So I'm not sure how this is going to be costed.
How's it going to work? Do you think it's not just a thing, gosh, we've got to be seen to do something to tackle cost of living. The Chancellor didn't do it in the budget. Oh, we're getting a lot of flack for this. What could we do? Oh, put on sunglasses and pretend we're slashing train fares.
I mean, maybe it's part of the levelling up plans, people moving around the country more. That tourism, as Amy was saying.
I think they're framing it as part of the levelling up agenda, but I think rail travel in the UK could be hugely beneficial. Post privatisation, loads of communities have been left really isolated because their routes aren't profitable. So some of us pay extortionate fees to travel in and out of cities for work, and other people are left cut off. So I think investment in rail would be great, but this is just too flimsy, too short term, too limited.